Of 2025, first, the chairperson.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Excess Duty Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2025, and approved the same with amendments.
Honorable members, I propose the question that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Excise Duty Amendment Bill. Sorry, we will expand that from the answered. Honorable, yeah, that is where I was. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I regret the disorder. Mover to move agreement with the report.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kupendekeza hoja ya kuwa jumba lote likubaliane na kamati ya jumba lote kwa kupiga msasa sheria kodi la ushuru nambari 7 ya mwaka wa 2025, na ningependa kumuuliza Mheshimiwa Zamzam aliunge mkono.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi namuunga kiongozi wa wengi mkono bila kupinga na kuunga Mheshimiwa. Asante sana.
I know why the majority leader has chosen Kiswahili. Honorable members, I propose the question that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7.
Be it in the use of electronic
He's my very good friend. So I'm not only making peace, but convincing him to see the light.
Majority Leader, your Thursday statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Ngogo is my very good friend. So I'm not only making peace, but convincing him to see the light. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 8th April 2025, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, with regard to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the following bills at various stages, some of which are listed in today's order paper. The second reading of the following bills, should they not be concluded today: 1, the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill of 2025; 2, the Learners with Disabilities Bill, Senate Bill number 4 of 2023; 3, the Treaty Making and Ratification Amendment Bill number 2 of 2024; 4, the Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill of 2023; and the National Cohesion and Integration Bill of 2023. In addition, the House will prioritize consideration of the following of the motion on Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates, and special motions on consideration for nominees for appointment to public or state offices. Further, Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 42A, 5 and 6, I wish to convey that the following Cabinet Secretaries are scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 16th April 2025, to respond to questions as follows. 1, the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Economic Planning will appear to provide an update on the status of the disbursement of funds under the NGCDF fund for the financial year 2024-2025, raised in the House during the sitting of Tuesday, 8th April 2025, by the member for Bumula, the Honorable Jack Wamboka. In addition, the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Economic Planning is also scheduled to respond to the following questions. Question number 008 of 2025 by the member for Wundanyi, Honorable Danson Mwashakwa, MP, regarding delays in processing payments for retirees in the country by the Pensions Department. And 2, question number 009 of 2025 by the member for Emuhaya, Honorable Mboko Milemba, CBS MP, regarding details on the medical capitation funds meant for teachers' medical scheme in the country. 2 is the Cabinet Secretary for Health, who will respond to the following questions. Question number 017 of 2025 by the member for Oyata, Honorable Robert Basil, MP, regarding reasons why Kenyans are required to register for the Social Health Insurance Fund despite formally contributing to the National Health Insurance Fund. 2, question 047 of 2025 by the member for Malindi, Honorable Amina Mnyazi, MP, regarding measures undertaken by the government to address the impact of the withdrawal of USAID funding in the country. 3, question number 048 of 2025 by the member for Ndebes, Honorable Dr. Robert Pukose, MP, regarding provision of a detailed report on tender number GF/ATM/HIV/NFM 2023/2024 OIT5 on the supply of Sure lubricated dotted condoms manufactured by MS Indus Medicare Private Limited, awarded to MS Reddy's Pharma. I can see the Honorable Pukose is here. 4, question number 049 of 2025 by the nominated member, Honorable Irene Mayaka, MP, regarding steps taken by the government to address vaccines shortages and ensure uninterrupted immunization services. 5 is question number 050 of 2025 by the member for Kirinyaga, Honorable Joseph Gitari, MP, regarding reasons why the administrator of the National Police Service Medical Insurance Scheme, MS Medical Administrators Kenya Limited, MAKL, does not allow its beneficiaries to choose their preferred hospitals for medical services. 6 is question number 051 of 2025 with the member for Manyata, Honorable Gitonga Mukunji, regarding non-operationalization of the Rehabilitation Fund as established under Section 53 of the Narcotics, Drugs, and Psychotropic Substances Control Act, Cap 245. And 7 is question number 052 of 2025 by the member for Nyandarua County, Honorable Faith Getao, CBS MP, regarding measures undertaken by the ministry to secure affordable treatment for multi-drug-resistant tuberculosis, considering its more challenging and prolonged treatment regime. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, the House business will reconvene again on Tuesday, 15 April 2025, to schedule business for the rest of the week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Did you notice your mention of Dr. Bukose's question?
Having allowed the member for Rarieta, who Dr. Omo Luka is a villager from that place, and knowing that we still have many other principal secretaries to approve, can I be in order to ask that we approve on Dr. Oluka as principal secretary for health and move to the next approvals, and members can still contribute to those ones.
Is it the mood of the House?
Level in terms of trade between Kenya and all other countries, whether internal and external trade, I support. Thank you. I second, sorry. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, I propose the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives in its report on the vetting of nominee for appointment as Principal Secretary, State Department for Trade, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 9th April 2025, pursuant to the provisions of Article 155(3)(b) of the Constitution, this House approves the appointment of Ms. Regina Akoth-Ombam, Principal Secretary, Department for Trade. The Majority Leader takes precedence. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the appointment of Ms. Regina Akoth as a Principal Secretary in the State Department for Trade. Honorable Speaker, as we consider her approval, and I hope the House will support in approving her, just to tell her that she's coming into office at a time the country and indeed the world trade environment has major challenges. Top among them, Honorable Speaker, is the events that have happened in the US, with tariffs being loaded onto many countries, including Kenya, at the tariff rate of 10%. And this will have new challenges for our goods and commodities, especially our tea and coffee, that largely is exported to those countries in the Americas, in Europe, Honorable Speaker. And as the Vice Chair of the committee has said, there are a number of economic partnership agreements that are in the works. Before this House, we have the economic partnership agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. Just to alert her that she will need to put on very light shoes to be able to run around the world, be able to engage many more trading partners around the world so that our country is not dependent on one or two destinations for our commodities and products, whether it's our agricultural products, whether it's our manufactured product, to open up more trade routes. Opportunity, Honorable Speaker, lies within the African continent. And encouraging more countries to sign up to the African Free Continental Trade Area is one of the quick wins that we can get, and I do hope that Ms. Regina will be able to move with speed and be able to encourage many more African countries to open up their boundaries for our goods to be able to access the very huge potential that lies within the African continent, Honorable Speaker. Even as we look at countries out there, we may not have the muscle to flex with those who are imposing tariffs like the US on our products, Honorable Speaker, because we largely depend on many of them even for our tourism sector. But it is possible to open up many more destinations, open up more trade routes between our country and other African countries, Honorable Speaker, because the African continent is the continent of the future in terms of trade. We are the continent with the youngest age in terms of population that is productive, population that can produce and consume. And therefore, the aging generations in the Americas, in Asia, in Europe, increasingly, they will consume less. And the African continent will increasingly consume more. And therefore, there's a great opportunity within the African continent, Honorable Speaker. And that's why just to encourage Ms. Regina, as she takes office upon approval, should we approve her, to move with speed and help us open up more economic partnership agreements with many other countries, open up more trade routes within the African continent, even as we constructively engage with our colleagues and our partners in Europe and in the Americas, including the government of Donald Trump. They also need our products. Donald Trump is talking about America first. We must also start begin talking about Kenya first, and that which benefits the Kenyan people. Our tea, our coffee in Nebraska, Honorable Speaker, in Seattle, in the US, they are consuming our coffee. As they consume our coffee, Honorable Speaker, it must be Kenya first and Kenyan coffee first. And we must, I'll not get into the tariff war. And we must not be enticed to get into the tariffs war. But we can position our country and brand our coffee, our tea, and our products in a manner that even those countries that think of putting tariffs on them, their population will be telling them, don't tax Kenyan coffee because it is the best coffee in the world. Honorable Speaker, I beg to support.
The Chair, Departmental Committee on Health, the Honorable Dr. James Nyikal.
Chair, I must take this opportunity to really stress that Regina will do this job. To begin, she comes from my constituency, let me say my village. And I know the work she did when she was in the National AIDS Control Council, when it was very difficult to handle the epidemic. She worked effectively, and she has experience in these high levels of government. I support her appointment as the permanent secretary.
The Honorable Dr. Wilberforce Oundo is recognized to contribute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I sit in the Committee of Trade, Industry and Cooperative, and I had the privilege to listen to her when she came to make her presentation. Any misgivings I had looking at her CV were immediately vanished, so I sincerely support. And let me also, as I support, Honorable Speaker, to raise about 3 or so fundamental issues, and I speak to her through this floor and to the people of Kenya. Number one, Africa only contributes 3% of the global trade. Kenya's contribution is your guess mine like, So she has two tasks, very tough tasks that she has to do. One, to make sure we claim back